going on some really linguistics at this time. I'm not sure I can follow it through in the same way, but I studied linguistics about 1966, and my professor said, this man Chomsky has destroyed everything I know. Yeah. So a really remaking of knowledge from this point. It's good, because you people live in a different world now. I'm mainly focusing on translation studies. We had one more. The rise of cultural studies, a field of study known as cultural studies. Cultural studies, which becomes part of English department studies as well. And what cultural studies does is to study working class culture. Working class. So it studies popular magazines, studies the Harlequin series. You have that? Yeah. It studies Zane Grey and the cowboy books. They're not Shakespeare, but they're literature in a different sense. It's a little bit study of anthropology in a way, study of other culture. But of English working class cultures, probably can't say that. And it also sets out to be non-evaluative. The canon, the idea of the canon, has always been that there is something great about literature, and that's what we're trying to find out. If we're studying Harlequin, we know it's not great, but we know it's important to a lot of people. So don't be a snob. Harlequin is important to a lot of people, so we should find out why it's important. What people get out of Harlequin, what messages they understand, how they understand those messages. Comfortable with this? You can come back and ask questions again, and I'll ask you questions again. No. Yes. Okay. So that's part one of what we do. There's the beginning. Colonizers, people coming from the center. Notice this language, the center. Philippines, this is the center. But for the American, for the French in Vietnam, for the Spanish people in Middle America, they are the center. For the British in India, they are the center. The rest of the world is the periphery. The subject. Mimi says there are two kinds. The ones who refuse, the ones who accept. The ones who refuse see poverty, see the lack of freedom, see the racism, see the lack of education. So they're critical. But his own people do not believe him. And the people for whom he sympathizes do not accept him either. He's patronizing. Why should you care about us? It's a strong stuff. So he can either continue to reject colonization and take the money for being there, or he can go home, or he can keep quiet. Colonizer who accepts, affirms colonization as good, sometimes affirms the local culture. So many of our scholars of Malay culture in Malaysia are British. And they accept. They are custodians of civilization. What about the colonized? The colonized are they, the Philippines, the Vietnamese, the Latin American. They're not us. They're different. Not free, and not free to choose whether to be colonized or uncolonized as well. And colonized has two choices, again, to accept or